like to welcome all the members of the public to this meeting, and really just to plead with you for your indulgence and where we have faltered. We really apologize profusely, but you are welcomed. And so, members, I'd like to then take you to the agenda, so we can indicate to the public which agenda items that we're going to deal with, and basically indicate that the agenda. If we go to agenda item number 3, open up the agenda, we had 4 items that were meant to be discussed. Sorry, 5 items that were meant to be discussed in an open meeting, but the proposal is that we postpone dealing with net billing conditions for licensed distributors to allow for further engagements on this at the workshop. Before this meeting, this matter was deliberated, and there were few suggestions that came from members that we felt that needed to be incorporated before a decision on this can be taken, and therefore that matter is not ripe for a decision. So we actually are requesting that it be taken out. And secondly, the matter dealing with the application for revocation of Lejaja Coal Pty Limited distribution connection facility license. We are also asking that matter be withdrawn. There is a legal issue that has emerged from that, and we need to just check in terms of legal precedents how these revocations were dealt with in respect of Section 17(3) of the Electricity Regulation Act. So we are requesting that those 2 items be removed from the agenda, and therefore the item that will then be discussed today is the Eskom 3-year NPA agreement with Sublime. We'll then discuss the dispute resolution report, and thirdly, the third quarter progress report. Those are the items that are going to be discussed in a public meeting. Members, by show of hands, can I see if we can support that agenda as presented with those 2 items being removed? Thank you, Advocate Sithole. Madam Massetti, Advocate Sithole, Madam Massetti, Madam Spia, Mr. Mkhize, happy to support the new agenda with those items removed. Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. I also support. Just to indicate that Mr. Bokola has just been called to a meeting. He will join at the time. He has an urgent meeting that he's attending, and he'll be back and join us during the meeting. With that, members, can I then take you to agenda item number 4, which is the declaration of interest forms. Please complete those and send them back to the Secretariat. And that also applies to the members of management and staff. But I'm not sure if there's anybody that has got anything that they want to declare verbally. If not, can we then go straight to agenda item number 8, that NPA report, Mr. Shozi?
Good morning to Chair. The report for 6-month progress report on Eskom 3 negotiated price agreement with Sublime will be presented by Gwena, Ms. Montlo. Gwena, Miss, if you can come in.
And take it as read, ma'am. Just the highlights. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Good morning, Chairperson, members and colleagues. This monitoring report is in relation to the 3-year incentive package that NESA has approved on 31 March 2022. It was Eskom 3-year incentive package with Sublime Technologies, and the decision of the energy regulator requires Eskom to submit a 6 months monitoring report to monitor the implementation of the agreement and to assess whether the intended objectives were achieved. And this report was assessed based on the assumptions that were made at the application state against the actual performance, and it therefore complies. We request the Electricity Subcommittee to note the monitoring report for Sublime Technologies. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Matlo. Members, any comments on the report? Suggestions? Any items that you are comfortable with? I see no hands. In that case, members, can I then take you to a decision that is sought? In essence, the Electricity Subcommittee is asked to note the 6 monthly progress report on the Eskom's 3 years NPA with Sublime Technologies Pty Limited, situated in Kriel, Mpumalanga, for the period 1st of April 2023 to 30th of September 2023. By show of hands, members, if we can note that report. Thank you, Advocate Itola, Mr. Mkiza, Madam Spear, Madam Assetti. Thank you. The report, Ms. Matlo, is noted. If we can then go to agenda item number 9. Mr. Shozi?
Yes, thank you, Chair, again. This one, Chair, it's a noting report for dispute resolution. We are reporting the complaints that we have received between January 2023 and 31st December 2023. The report summarizes the dispute types, the trends, and the customer complaints that we received during that period. But I'll allow Ms. Mtem just at high level to take members through, and assuming that the report has been read. Over to you, Ms. Mtem.
Before you do, Madam Tembo, Advocate Itola, I see your hand is up. Lingering hand?
Chairperson, I don't know, on my side it's not, maybe it's the system malfunctioning. I was supposed to take it down. Apologies for that. I don't see it on. I'll try.
All right, no, thanks. It's off now. Thank you. Mr. Mtembu?
Let me take this opportunity and greet the chairperson, the members, the colleagues, and everyone who is joining us online. I will be presenting on behalf of the dispute resolution team, and the purpose of this submission is to present to the subcommittee the trends report of all disputes received from January till December, and the report is for noting. We will take it that the report has been read, but I would just like to highlight the few issues that have stood out in the year 2023, which is basically the licensees that are implementing unapproved tariffs, licensees that want to hand over their licenses to Eskom because that they are unable to pay their Eskom accounts, customers who want to be exempted from load shedding, claims for damages, theft and vandalism of electricity infrastructure during load shedding, resellers who continue to implement unapproved tariffs and do not want to adhere to guidelines, disputes from licensees against Eskom and how they're being billed. And the rest is the ones that I believe we are all aware of, which is your backdated billing, disconnections, referred cases by the public protector, and so on. As I conclude, Chairperson, we were able to close all the cases received within the specified time of 120 days, despite the challenges we have encountered. And that is mainly because we went over and above the call of duty. And on that note, let me allow the members to pose questions if there are any. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mtembu. Members, you've got the report before you. Any questions, comments? Ms. Leah?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the presenter. Chair, it's just a small thing. Apologies. If they can, on 6.3, when you talk about those entities that you have there, I suggest you use the word licensees, because one of them is not a municipality, Itala. So if you can separate them so that the document can read better. Apologies, I should have raised it separately with the team. Thank you, Chair.
No, it's noted. It's appreciated. Thank you, Madam Spear. 9, can I then ask Mr. Mkiza to then comment as well? 9.2. Mr. Mkiza?
Thanks, Chairperson, and thanks to the presenter. I'd just like to zoom into these institutional bodies or persons consulted. That at least we need to indicate that we are going to consult with other partners or social partners in this. Because for me, I deem it important. For example, you can't expect a person that is operating in the local economic development division of a municipality to just sit at ease when we've got things like what is under paragraph 6.9.2, where industrial customers are seeking migration to Eskom supply areas, because in locating their businesses, the issue of the tariff being charged could play a big role, and therefore we need to be cognizant of that and form partnerships. I think out of this, maybe one issue that we should be throwing out, out of it is what stakeholders, what key stakeholders we need to consult on these things, or we deem them to be partners and see that the partnership is working. If there's a problem of cable theft, how is how is the law enforcement in that particular area? Public police forums, the CPFs, working well in that area, for example, just for us to cover every base. But I'm very much pleased with us being able to like pull out these things, even the billing, the problems that are there, and all of that, which should be communicated to municipalities. Yeah, because there's, I won't talk about hearsay and other things where people feel maybe being profiled and targeted for billing. But I just want to deal with what is facts that is presented here, which is appreciated. But we just need to emphasize just on that aspect. That is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nkiza. Madam Maset.
Thank you, Chairperson, and thank you to the presenter. And thank you for the doing the highlights, the observations for the year in terms of the nature of the issues that you had to deal with. My point is on enhancement, maybe going forward, to try and look at the impact of some of these issues that we've come across. For instance, the one where municipalities feel that they are unable to exist in the market. It becomes a concern when one of the industry players, even two, Mr. Mkiza.
Mr. Mkiza, your mic, please. Thanks.
Yeah. So when parties are not able to survive in the market, and what are the reasons they don't survive in the market, especially because we know that Eskom is a monopoly and Eskom is the one that sells to these municipalities. So some of the distributors or these municipalities may feel that they are squeezed somewhat, maybe in terms of prices, but also in terms of higher charges, such that they are unable to survive. So if there are such things, then it becomes an issue of sort of a deterrence of the rivalry that we want to see as the regulator. So those are some of the things maybe that you could look into when some of these entities are not able to survive and they are facing some challenges in operating fairly in the presence of the player that has the upper hand within that sort of localized area or localized distribution area or market. So that could also assist. I just picked up one so that when you do that kind of analysis and highlighting certain things, you could also add, the implications of those observations as well as the impact of the observations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Maseti. With no further hands, Mr. Mtembu, I guess a number of these issues are actually enhancements, but I'm not sure if you want to respond to any of them.
We would just like to thank the members.
Before you do, I see Mr. Mabunda, his hand is up. Are you wanting to guide something?
Chair, I just wanted to indicate that let's not miss the input from the CEO. She needs clarity there as well.
Yes, is that on the chat? Sorry, I wasn't sure.
Yes, Chair.
Oh, something on the chat. Okay.
So basically, she's saying that we use a calendar year or financial year for the report or not, because our APP is based on a financial year. She just needs clarity on that so that we can address the issues with the auditors should they pick it up.
All right. Okay, thanks. Ms. Mthembu, over to you, if you can address that issue as well.
Thank you, Chairperson. We use a calendar year. I note that CEO is saying that it's not aligned to the APP. We will definitely look into that and see if we can make sure that it is aligned to the APP. Secondly, with the other chart that is on, there are two entities of Itala. Yes, it's true that there are two entities. Actually, it's three. They are all licensees. Thank you, Chair.
But the issue was, Madam Chair was saying is it's just an enhancement, an enhancement. They does not call it municipalities; they call it licensees, because it also includes those. It's just an enhancement. Okay. Any other matter that you'd like to talk to in terms of the enhancement, or you're just noting the input from the members?
We have noted all the inputs, Chairperson, and we thank you and appreciate them. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Later on, members, I would like to then raise an issue of how we link the issue of dispute resolution to monitoring and enforcement. There is a request that I would like to raise later, and input from LAS. There was some guidance from LAS at one of the engagements we had. So if we can just remind me when we get to the minutes, there's something that actually deals with this that I would like to then bring up. But with that, members, if there are no further comments or inputs, we thank you for the enhancements that have been proposed. Can I then take you to the decision that is sought, which is on paragraph 14? That is, the ELS is asked to note the dispute resolution report for the calendar year 2023, which will in the future then be aligned to the how we do the APP that is aligned to the financial year. But can we note, members? By show of hands. Thank you, Advocate. Thank you, Madam Massetti. Thank you, Mr. Mkize. Thank you, Madam Spear. I also note. So your report, Mr. Mthembu, is noted. If we can then go to agenda item number 10. Shozi.
Thanks, Chair. The report, it's a third quarter progress report on the implementation of the corrective action plans. Mr. Mwanza will take members through on the licensees that were audited and the findings, and indicate how these licensees are implementing the correction action plans that they have drafted. Over to you, Mr. Mwanza.
Taken as read, Mr. Mwanza. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, members.
Mr. Mkize would like to talk to. Mr. Mkize seems to want to introduce the matter before you. You let him.
No, my apologies, Chair. I was under the impression that Mr. Mwanza is out on business and Mr. Jacobs will do the presentation. But since he's here, it's fine. Let him go ahead. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Please proceed, Mr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to the members and the colleagues as well. Chair, I'll take the matter as read. The purpose of the submission is to request the Electricity Subcommittee to note the third quarter report on the generation compliance and enforcement. This matter is duly delegated to this committee. Chairperson, this third quarter report is in fulfillment of the targets that were set in the monitoring and enforcement plan that was approved by the energy regulator. Chairperson, the findings are the same in all these three licenses. It is completing the 6-yearly grid code retesting program. And Chair, we therefore recommend, as per clause 14 of the submission in page 5 of 14. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mwanza. Members, any questions, comments? Submission by a show of hands. Seems to be no comments or questions, Mr. Mwanza. But again, members, I just do like to then indicate that I'd like to have this also integrated with this issue that we'll discuss in under governance. We're talking about dispute resolution, monitoring and compliance, and how that I believe that as advised by LAS how it should link to Section 18. Thank you. By show of hands, members, if we can then if I take you to the recommendation, the recommendation is that the ELS to note the third quarter progress report, and by show of hands, members, if we can support that. But Amaseti, Mr. Mkize, Advocate Sitole, Mrs. Spear, would you support? Thank you, Ms. Spear. I also support. So that brings us to the end of all of the items that were supposed to be discussed in an open meeting. And like to thank all the members of the public that may have joined us from the various platforms. And again, to apologize for the late start. It was a matter beyond our control. We're supposed to start at 9:30, but we started a bit late. We apologize for that. But we'd like you to just bear with us. These things do happen, but we apologize for that. I'd like to then bring this matter of the open meeting to a close.